like the full Dookie Super Saiyan Goku.
And absolutely dislike hard plastic capes.
Give me GT Goku, now give me my future, go on!
Like, I don't know.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Figures and Films. Today, it is me, your boy Champ, along with Daredevil 19. It looks like he's signaling a plane to land. And we are doing another episode of ranking / reviewing One Piece arcs leading up to Egghead Island. I know Egghead is about to end pretty soon, so we're gonna just, going back in order, talking about all the arcs. We've already completed the pre-time skip. Now we're getting into the post-time skip. As you can see on screen, this is our where we're ranking all the arcs so far. Last time we talked about the Paramount War, and now we're into the 2-year time skip. So now we're going to be covering today Return to Sabaody, Fishman Island, and Punk Hazard. Oh.
In anime like Naruto, what are some other ones I have one? Can't really remember. That's all I really remember, just like One Piece and Naruto. But a lot of them do like time skips, and I always look forward to that because the characters, they evolved over time, or trained, got stronger, which is what our characters were doing. And getting to see them all return after the 2 years that they've been away from each other, all just pretty much training besides Brooke.
Yeah, I know Kuso. I know about the Sean's audio. It should be working now, but yeah. So I guess they couldn't hear you for a little bit, but they should hear you now.
Oh no! It's
you're
good now.
You're good now. Yeah.
Good now. All right. Yeah, everybody was off training, like I was saying, besides Brooke, and you really anticipated that moment of them all meeting back up with each other after the 2 years that went by. I mean, they all haven't seen each other. A lot of things happen, especially with Luffy. None of his crew was there when spoilers, Ace died pretty much in his arms.
It does?
And, yeah, he does.
He turns into a donut.
Yeah, but this arc, so Return to Sabaody is the next arc. It's really short. I really consider it part of Fishman Island because it's only like 3 or 4 episodes. But yeah, they all met back up at Sabaody, and I mean, it is a really good arc. We have like the fake Straw Hats in there, and that people for some reason think are the real Straw Hats, when the guy who's Straw Hat Luffy looks nothing like Straw Hat Luffy. He's like a big overweight guy who's really tall. Meanwhile, Luffy's like real skinny and short. And it's funny, I like the disguise. Who gave him the disguise? Bo Hancock?
Yeah.
It's just like the mustache. It's like a curly mustache. And he's lugging around this huge bag of just like snacks and food. It's like, what the hell? But like you see each member like popping up there. The one thing I loved is when Zoro accidentally got on the wrong ship, and that ship heads down to Fishman Island. All of a sudden, like a few moments later, it comes back up in pieces because Zoro realized he wasn't on the Thousand Sunny and destroyed the ship to get back to the surface.
Yeah,
that was probably like one of my favorite parts in Return to Sabaody. But I think Frankie was the first one to arrive to the ship because he saw like the original.
I thought it was Zoro was the first one.
No, he got on the wrong ship.
No, you know what? You know what it was? he he met up
He
with
would've.
Rayleigh first. Or what's her name? His
Maybe, yeah. It
what's
was
her name?
probably that, but I mean, like the first Straw Hat to get to the Going Merry, because they were gone 2 years and their ship was just chilling there. Kuma, like I guess he was programmed to protect their ship, and he was protecting it that whole time. And once Frankie showed up, he just left, and you're just like, okay, like it keeps giving you hints that Kuma really isn't a bad guy, even though like he's at this point, his mind's like fully taken over as like a robot cyborg type thing. Like he's not really even like human now in a way, But you see, yeah, he was really looking out for them. That was like an unanswered question pre-time skip. You're like, why is he like knocking them all out of here? Like, what's going on? I mean, we all figure out what happened, but it was pretty cool seeing that. And there's more. There's got to be more to that character as you're watching this, because he didn't. I don't even think he said anything. He just got up and left once one of the Strats. It didn't matter who showed up first. It happened to be Frankie, but no matter who showed up, he left right after. That was like his mission for that time. But yeah, I did like the Usopp and Nami reunion too.
Yeah,
she's hugging him.
Mm-hmm.
She's hugging him, and his nose is right between her tits.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a foreshadow of what was to come with the fan service.
Yeah. It
because it got a lot worse or better.
Yeah, a lot more fan servicey.
Yeah,
if you ask me. I really like Nico Robin's outfit. Very nice outfit.
Yeah, not a practical outfit, but
Nami's like half naked now all the time. But it's cool. Like, you want to see how strong they got, and they at least show the big 3 Straw Hat members how much, a little peek of their power of how much stronger they've gotten. Like they could not fight any of the pacifista cyborgs, the Kumas.
Yeah.
And this time Luffy destroyed one with just one punch, and you're just like, oh shit. All right, Luffy definitely got yeah, you're like, Luffy definitely got a lot stronger. And then you see Sanji and Zoro doing their thing too, and you're like, okay, they've gotten a lot stronger as well. And Zoro now damaged his one eye, so now his one eye's closed. It got slashed by a sword. A lot of people think let me ask you this. A lot of people think Zoro's going to have like some hidden power once he opens his eye. A lot of people think he's just doing that as part of his training. And once he opens both his eyes, he'll become like double more powerful and faster and something. Some people think he's going to unlock, like he has like some sort of like eye power that he's going to get. Maybe that Mihawk has if you look at Mihawk's eyes, he has like little crosshairs or targets or something on him. People might think maybe you need to get that sort of vision in order to become like one of the greatest swordsmen. Do you think it's just Oda was just like, let me make him look more like a pirate and, cut one of his eyes? Or do you think maybe it's just part of his training? And because they do show him get his eye slashed in like flashback by one of the, what are they, like gorillas? And they copy.
I don't know. I don't remember if they showed it, but I think it was just kind of left to interpretation. Like, oh, he lost an eye during training, like either from the monkeys or Mihawk. So I don't think it's anything else than just showing the development of Zoro, showing that like even when he's like, yeah, he doesn't have both eyes anymore, but now he's still stronger, and showing that he's even more aware, even without that, as it like he doesn't need both eyes now, so he's like that strong. So I think it's more of a narrative, more of a character development angle with that. I was for a time curious to see if did he lose that during training? I don't think they show that.
I don't think he lost his eye. I think it just
came out by itself. It said, all right, peace out.
Well, it looks like a slash, and I believe they did show that because I was always curious, and I think I forgot the first time, but then second time around, they show it gets slashed by one of the monkeys that he's fighting. I believe it's the one that copied Mihawk too, and it slashed his eye. I don't think like his eye got knocked out, but I don't think there's any like hidden power behind it. I mean, it could be something where he's purposely closing it, but he also did like damage it, and he's purposely closing it. And if he opens it, he becomes like 2 times faster than he already is. It could be something like that, or like you're saying, it could just be it got
What is
damaged
he
and
like
he can't
Kakashi?
use his eye anymore. Oh yeah, right. I also think it's just to make them look more piratey because a lot of pirates have one eyes with an eye patch. Like if you go back in time, look at pirates, or if you see movies with pirates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is a very pirate thing. He does look a lot more badass having the one eye closed with a slash scar over it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, the return of Sabaody, even though it's just like a couple arcs, I mean, it was all right. You know, it's not like, well, that was the best mini arc ever or the worst. I just think it was like it was fine. You know, like I said, there was a lot of anticipation and build up to seeing all the Straw Hats reunite, and it was great seeing them all reunite. I mean, how did you feel about it?
I liked it. It was nice to see like all the crew members finally, being back together, seeing, the only problem that I have with the Return to Sabaody is the Chopper mistaking the crew, his friends for the fakes, and I'm just thinking like, Chopper, how long have you like I feel like no matter how long it's been, you'll always recognize your friends. I know it's for more of a
Yeah,
comedic
yeah.
thing, but it was kind of getting annoying, like Chopper at that moment was really stupid.
Yeah. Well, look at Sniper King, him and Luffy. They didn't know that was Usopp. But this one, yeah, you're like seeing their faces. They're all like the just body, like the looks of their bodies are just totally different. Like Sanji's super tall and lanky. Like Luffy is so overweight, and it's really tall all of a sudden. Nami is like kind of like chubby, and it's just like
Yeah.
no, and didn't they have like a real reindeer as Chopper?
No, they had like a
And
raccoon or something. They had like an actual like raccoon.
and it got like knocked away. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got knocked away, and Chopper like took its place without noticing.
But,
Yeah, so
which is also funny because in the Japanese dub, all the like other voice actors, like I think like Frankie plays like the fake Usopp or like something like that. So it's like all the the cast for
they
the
just
Straw
mixed
Hats,
them all up.
they mix them. Yeah, they mix them up, which is hilarious. But
Yeah.
I
mean, I would say it's like B or something.
B.
It's like I said, it's only like 3-4 episodes long.
I think it's just a little bit of the pacing kills it with the whole like the fake Straw Hats. I think it's just like that could have just been wrapped up in an episode, and I think they like made it to 2 episodes. Like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They were there. They were there almost the entire time.
I know it's a lot quicker in the remake of Fishman Island that was like 25 episodes. I think the original was a little bit more than that. Like I don't know, it was like 30 or something like that.
Yeah. The remake's only like 20 something episodes.
So
Yeah.
I didn't watch that. But maybe
I
I'll
did.
definitely. You did.
Yeah, because I wanted to watch.
So would you?
I'm curious to see like how it does like breeze by. It goes by so much quicker. I need to rewatch like Fishman Island because I don't really. There's so many things that like even the flashbacks they cut back a lot. They left all the major stuff in. Like the flashbacks of Shirahoshi's mother, that went by super quick. Jinbei and Arlong and oh my god, what's the name of the one fisherman who started the Fisherman Pirates? Oh god. Tiger, Fisher Tiger,
Yeah.
Fisher Tiger. That kind of breezed by pretty quick too. Yeah, it did go quickly because before you know it, you were up to the finale battle, and I was like, oh shit, okay. But yeah, I mean, would you prefer arcs being shorter like that, or do you like the character development, the world building, the backstories, like all of its normal length?
Um, well, since we're like transitioning from Sabaody to Fishman Island now, here's the thing. Like, I think, see, I don't want to jump too far ahead because I wanted to use like Wano as an example, but then like, I think if it's like a new place that we haven't been to,
Yeah.
I think it's alright to flesh out a little bit of that, lore, add maybe a little bit more filler. But I want to compare it to Dressrosa, where it's like, okay, we get it, where you're using too much of the flashbacks and emphasizing, like, oh, look,
Yeah, that
like,
flashback was
with Rebecca's mother, like, getting shot 50 times in an episode, like, we get it, We get that,
yeah, yeah.
the king was, like, possessed by Doflamingo and everything like that. I think that's what really really slowed down Dressrosa and really like got fans divided, because like don't get me wrong, there's some great moments in there, but I feel like there's a little bit too much in there, kind of similar to another arc that we're talking
I
about
feel
later.
like the arcs kept getting longer and longer as One Piece went on.
They
Like starting with the time skip, mainly like Dressrosa. Dressrosa I really liked a lot though. But yeah, there's things that do drag out. Egghead arc is not going to be as long as these other arcs.
Egghead arc has gone by quick, and I think the thing about
I think
that,
it's like at 80 episodes now already. I think, or 60. I don't know,
way, it has to be less. If we're,
it's really Egghead's really good though.
I think the thing with Egghead though, and again, I don't want to jump ahead, but the thing with that arc is that it breaks up the main story with these side stories that are not even connected to it. Like, the stuff with Kobe and, the stuff with the Black Bear Pirates.
Oh,
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So you have these other side of things, but that also, like, works against it. I'll talk more about that later because I don't want to get sidetracked.
Yeah, yeah. We don't
with
want to.
Fishman Island, I think with the backstory with, talking about like
this had
how
2 flashbacks.
yeah, because yeah. Well, the thing with Fishman Island, with like, you have the backstory of like the Shirahoshi's like mother, and like the racism and prejudice against the Fishmen people. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And to kind of give Jinbei it adds to Jinbei's story too. So this is kind of diving more into Jinbei's, like, this is kind of almost like Jinbei's arc.
Yeah, the whole thing with like fishmen and humans don't share blood, and because
and it even connects to Nami, not Nami with her path with Orlong. So I
remember Sanji made Jinbei apologize to her and did.
That's another thing that like that really, see, I wish
Hachi should have apologized to her.
Yeah.
In the arc before that.
Well, I think
go ahead.
I think he did when we went to Sabaody the first
time.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I think he just apologized on his own, just for like, he's like, I was in a bad spot and I didn't realize how bad a person Arlong was, because he was like very gullible. Hachi.
Yeah, because when we first met Hachi, when we were reintroduced to Hachi,
and Arlong. Yeah,
the Straw Hats were like, I don't know if we want to save you, because, with everything that happened with Nami, but, they eventually, forgave him and became friends with him and everything. But the thing with Fishman Island is that this is a new arc for a new time, like in the story, for, the first arc in the post time skip, and it's not the strongest arc, to be honest. No. Because one, you have the pacing issues. Two, I mean, we already know the characters are a lot stronger, so there's not really that many high stakes. And they had
to give the villain like a steroid or a drug to enhance his powers to make him stronger.
And this is where Oda implements more of the, what do you call it? The timer, the big kaboom plot MacGuffin that's going to destroy so and so, because he starts doing that a lot more. He started it in Alabasta, right? And then eventually we got like, oh, of course we got like, other things like, oh, you got the what do you call it, Buster Call in Ennie's Lobby, and then you have like Ace's like Execution and Marine 4. Like there's always that little timer to up the stakes. But in post time skip, it happens a lot more with all these MacGuffins. Like you have that big pirate ship, that huge ship that's sitting on the bottom of with Fishman Island, and God, what's his name? The villain of this arc. I think
one of them. Yeah, he has that devil fruit where.
Oh God, what is his name? His
touches,
name's something. He's basically a PNG.
Deccan.
Yeah, he's basically a PNG-ophile. I like to call it.
Kuso probably put it in the comments. No, not yet. Vander Decken, that's his name.
Decken. Which that's a creep.
He has that devil fruit where whatever he touches with his left hand, like person,
he sends it flying.
Whatever he has in his right hand, he can throw it and it'll directly make contact with what he touched with his left hand. So he touched a Shirahoshi with his left hand, and he keeps throwing weapons at her. So she has to stay like in her room barricaded so she doesn't get killed, which it's like, wow, what a very isolated life she has to live because of that guy. He wants her to marry him and she doesn't want to marry him.
Yeah, because he's trying to marry a 16-year-old. She's technically 16-year-old, which is Shirahoshi is.
Think about that. He met her before that too, so she's probably even younger.
Yeah, he saw that kid and he's like, "Yo, I want that on the menu tonight, boys." And I'm just like, "No!"
She's like 10 times my size.
No! Like, I understand why he wanted her, because she is, basically an ancient weapon that could talk to the like sea beasts.
Yeah. Which I feel like is like his main reason why he really does want her to be his wife.
But then he has hard eyes for her, and I'm just like, that's no.
Yeah.
And then
that's
Sanji,
a no-no.
Sanji goes sims for her too. I'm just like, Sanji, no, come on. I understand it's Japan, but come on. This is where we see the downfall of Sanji's character.
Yeah, the whole thing with Sanji, though, since he was away from women for 2 years, before that, I really did love them going to Fishman Island, just going all the way under the sea. I thought that was really cool, just seeing all that stuff. But any type of skin he sees, cleavage or anything, like this is from Nami and Nico Robin. Nami had to cover up because he kept getting nosebleeds and he was losing so much blood he kept almost dying. So they were trying to they're trying to help him like slowly, because they were taking pictures of Nami and whatever and giving them, be like, just look at the pictures until you look at the real thing, just so he can like slowly get back into the groove of seeing women again. He just couldn't handle it. And I just thought that whole thing was funny. And he literally almost died when he's with a group of mermaids that are all friends with Cassie. Was that her name? Their mermaid friend? And he lost so much blood, he almost died. And a big thing in Fishman Island, as I mentioned before, is he needed a blood donor. Yeah. And fishmen do not want to share their blood with humans. Humans, I don't know how they really think of it, but the Straw Hats don't give a shit. They're like, we'll share blood with you, or vice versa, whatever. But fishmen do not want to give their blood to humans, and they don't want to be tainted with human blood if they need a blood donor. So Sanji needed a blood donor. They couldn't find anybody with like the same blood type as him. And luckily there was 2 other humans on there, which were like the same type of humans on that island he was stuck on. So he like freaked out again.
I thought they were mermaids. I thought they were like male.
No, they were humans.
Oh, were they?
No, they were humans. Yeah. Because that was a big concept or a big story in the Fishman Island arc, because at the end, Luffy needed a blood donor, and like all the fishermen from all like the towns and villages of Fishman Island were all around watching the big final battle, and Luffy needed blood. Or was it Jinbei? It was Luffy, because Jinbei he saw like that was the right time to do this, to show like, hey man, not all humans are bad. We could share blood with them. And Jinbei donated his blood to Luffy, and that's how like Fishman accepted the Straw Hats and accepted Luffy being the one to take down what was his name? The big main villain. What? Oh, Hody Jones.
Oh
So
yeah, they
because
were humans.
Jinbei kept telling him like, don't fight him yet. The fishermen won't approve or something like that, and they'll just think you're another bad human. So Jinbei kept telling him not to fight him, and after Jinbei did that or something, I forgot how it was exactly, but the fishermen accepted Luffy to be their savior to stop Hody Jones, because the dude was just wilding out. He was trying to kill the king and his sons and Shirahoshi, and he was so close to doing it, and Luffy and the Straw Hats end up saving him. But I kind of jumped ahead there. I was trying, like, that whole concept of the whole blood sharing, you know, it's a hidden message in the real world, and I really love these messages that Oda puts in One Piece. He puts in like real world things, like, you know, people are racist towards fishermen, and it's like he's just like saying like, you know, everybody's the same. And it's like, it's true, everybody is the same. You don't got to treat people differently because they're different or whatever. You know, it's messages he always throws in One Piece, which is stuff I love. That's one of the biggest things I love about One Piece, these messages that, you know, like the government is like our government. You know, they're really like some sneaky, slimy, grimy pieces of shit.
Oh yeah, especially
You know,
today. Oh yeah.
yeah. So like he does a lot of real world stuff that influences his manga anime from the real world that he puts in there. And if you pick up on these things, it's really, really great messages that he puts in there. And it's something I absolutely love about One Piece. There's so many things to pull from this anime manga that I just love. And that was a big thing in Fishman Island. So there's a lot of things going on with it. You know, some stuff I didn't like. You know, yeah, the pacing wasn't the greatest. It wasn't my favorite arc. It definitely, to me, wasn't the weakest arc. I think it was a decent arc for One Piece. I did like the Fisher Tiger backstory more than Shirahoshi's mother's backstory.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the Shirahoshi's mother's backstory, someone kills her, and then we find out it's Hody Jones, which is like the main villain of this arc too.
Which I still
like,
feel like
damn.
it's just like they were trying to do like another R long, but like more strong.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I feel like this, like, they do show Arlong in this, but in a flashback. I would have liked to see Arlong make an appearance again, but I guess you would get the same.
He's locked up.
Yeah, you probably get the same arguments like, oh well, they're just trying to do East Blue. You know, they're trying to do the Arlong Park saga again.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't make much sense. But
I feel like if they would have shown Arlong again, it would have been an Impel Down.
yeah.
But he was too much of a dickhead. Like, he wouldn't have joined up with them.
No.
Like humans, he'd be like, screw all of you. Go do your stupid war. I'll wait for the Fishman versus human war or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? He might pop up later on, because even after Marineford, we see like Crocodile again for like a little bit. You know, we see all these other characters here and there. Same with like Marco. We see Marco the Phoenix again. You know, there's a lot of characters that keep popping up. Like Rob Lucci comes back. You know, there's a lot of stuff. But go ahead.
No, it's just I find it funny that mostly of like the East, like, romance star and villains get forgotten about, except for Arlong, because his past, you know, with Jinbei is so important.
Yeah.
For, you know, the future of the Straw Hats. It's funny that he's like probably the only one that gets a call back, but but just in that
I like that
article,
flashback.
Yeah.
Did you know, I didn't pick up on this the first time, but because you don't see her till Dressrosa. So you remember the little girl they saved? I love that whole thing too. That
that's
was like
supposed
so
to be
heartbreaking.
Koala.
Yeah, I did not notice that during Dressrosa, but the more I saw her, I'm like, she kind of looks like like Koala. I remember that name, and then I remember looking it up. I'm like, oh shit, it is her. So the slave girl that they rescued, that she was so broken. Like, she was so afraid to cry. Like, it's so screwed up how these celestial dragons are in One Piece. They saved this little girl. I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but they saved this little girl, and come to find out that would be Fisher Tiger's downfall in the end. But later on, she's actually in the Revolutionary Army, and she like works side by side with Sabo, which is pretty cool. I'm like, oh shit, okay. And she has like she has like the utmost respect for Fishman too, as you see her when she's older.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't realize that until later when I was like, I think watching Dressrosa, or like later on, I was like, oh wait, that's the same person. I didn't realize. I had to look that up. So
yeah, I don't think you'd really even notice it. Until Dressrosa, because you don't see her really until Dressrosa. If I could be wrong though, we might see like little bits of it. Yeah, because we don't see Sabo till then either. So yeah, you don't see her until Dressrosa.
Yeah.
But how would you rank Fishman Island? I mean, is there anything else you want to mention about Fishman Island?
I mean, I like seeing everyone's new like abilities and like weapons in action. Like you see, like you see Zoro and Sanji getting the power. Sanji now has that ability to where he's able to walk on air.
Yeah. I liked Usopp's upgrade from the island he was on.
All the little plant
I like that so much more than what he was doing before with his BS hot sauce one.
Yeah. I like Brook. Brook is we'll see more of Brook later, but he gets some major power-ups.
I feel like Brook was always like this powerful. He just never really went all out because we only seen him in Thriller Bark really fight, and kind of a little bit in Sabaody, but I don't really know like what he did to get maybe because he used his music to train. Maybe that's what it was.
It was a little bit of his music and him diving more into his devil fruit, like because now he has that ability where he can let his soul out of the skeleton and let it try.
I think he learned by mistake as he did it that first time. So I feel like he's still learning his ability, like his devil fruit.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Well, I think it's it's definitely interesting because it's like, oh wow, he like he's not as strong as a swordsman as Zoro, but we get to see him like definitely like now that he has something to work for and it has a purpose now, he gets stronger. So and that's all the Straw Hats, they got stronger.
Frankie's upgrade.
Oh yeah, Frankie got major upgrades up the asshole. Like he got like General Frankie. He's got like the Going Merry's got like some new upgrades. He's got a motorcycle.
Yeah.
This dude, he didn't sit on his ass. He's like.
Yeah, he really upgraded himself and made a ton of new stuff. Yeah, Frankie really upgraded.
And I'm with like Luffy and Chopper and like Usopp who are just like, oh my god, that's so cool. He has like a samurai sword, like a huge one.
Yeah. Chopper had some nice upgrades. He found some more like now he can control that real big form he goes into. Then he developed a few more.
Yeah, which I don't know if I like half of them, which he doesn't use anymore. He just uses the big, man form, which I don't like how it looks now because it's just like his small head on a big body. Before he looked like Bigfoot. Now he just looks like a Chopper on a gorilla body. I'm just like, that looks stupid.
I think that's a different form. No, he does that Kung Fu point too, where he kind of looks like fat.
Oh god, the Kung Fu is just basically Kung Fu Panda.
Pretty much.
Oda watched Kung Fu Panda. He's like, I want that.
Yeah. I want that form now. But yeah, he has more forms. Nami, with where she went, she can do a lot more cool things now. With her, she doesn't have a devil fruit. Yeah. Nico Robin definitely advanced. Now she could do like gigantic forms, like creating a bunch of small arms into a giant arm, or same with her legs. And she even advances further as we go along. We don't even see her like real power until later in later arcs.
Yeah.
Are we missing anybody else? I mean, then we got the main three, Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy. And Luffy, we don't even see.
All his abilities yet.
Yeah, which is cool. I like how they save that. We won't even see it in the next arc either. They save it for Dressrosa. Yeah, but what anything else like I'm trying to think. We see that Tom who raised Frankie, we see his brother.
I remember that one joke where like Luffy's like, "Hey, who's that on the the thousandth study?" Frankie's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
this is my mentor's old friend, Tom. He's helping
That was his brother. Yeah.
his brother. He's like he's helping Colt the Mary. He's like, "Oh, I get it. So the thousandth study is coding his brother or something like that." And Frankie's just like,
Yeah, whatever.
"Yeah, sure, let's go with that." Like, you said something so stupid. I know they cut that out in the remake, which I'm just like,
yeah, they cut out a lot because they cut out a lot. But I would you say Fishman Island's like high B tier?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I liked it more
important.
than Thriller Bark.
Yeah, I would just I would just say the pacing on it killed it, and I don't like. I'm not super because again we switch art / animation directions with this one, right? Like everyone gets a whole new redesign, right? So Luffy like has a redesign. Everyone gets a new art style. That's what Toei does. Every time there's like a new big like chapter for the Straw Hats, we go to another art style. We've done that with Wano and Egghead.
Yeah,
I
guess they get like new artists.
Yeah,
I do like the art style. Like ever since the time skip, it definitely is much better than pre-time skip. I don't know how you feel though. Like I feel like it's more updated.
It's updated.
I never liked where they look super lanky like the beginning of One Piece.
Yeah, it does show the progression of Oda's drawing skills in the manga because that's what they're trying to basically reflect. But I would say like the first maybe 3 like arcs of post time skip, I don't like the art style until we get later on where it gets a little bit more detailed, refined.
Yeah.
So, but I know from like an animation standpoint, the more detail you add, the longer it's going to take to animate. So I understand why this one's like a little bit more basic, but updating to a more modern, like modern anime design, which it's fine. I do like the intro. What is that? We go. Yeah. The sunshine. I do like that opening. It's very catching. I also want to throw in was it the One Piece fan letter special? Because that kind of like ties in to Sabaody and Fishman Island, showing that within the 2 years, it showed like since the Paramount War that
that was a good little special right there.
That it shows like the outside, like how that affected like people outside of the crew and people across the world, especially
just random people. Totally random people in One Piece, which was pretty cool to see through like their eyes.
Yeah, you saw like even like some of the Navy, like people in the Navy respect the Straw Hats because of like their determination and like how they are able to inspire.
It was like 2 brothers in the Marines, and one of them like was about to die and told the other brother to go save yourself, but because of Luffy, that brother that ran off to go save himself turns around to save his brother. And then you had a little girl who really idolized Nami for like the type of person she is. They're not pirates are known to be bad and villainous, but not all of them are. And the Straw Hats, they're more of like good guy type pirates.
Yeah.
Should we get into Punk Hazard now?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely Fishman Island, put that a B. So we'll go over to the next arc, which is Punk Hazard. This one,
I thought it was all right. I wasn't. It had its moments, but I do like how Law had a big part in it.
Yeah, this one I'm mixed on. Like, I don't know if I should put an A or B because there are things I like about it. Like, I do like I think the comedy in this one's a little bit more funny, but again, we still have that problem of Sanji being a perv. Like when they like, so when Law, there's a point where Law makes the Straw
Yeah.
Hats switch bodies, right? So
Part
Frankie,
of his devil fruit, yeah.
Sanji, and Nami. I think it's only those
He
three.
switches like your soul, and like he switched all their souls into different bodies. Part of his
Yeah.
devil fruit, something he could do. I forgot what it's called. I do
But
like how he was a big part of this arc, and his fight and Smoker's fight was so good.
oh, we get to see that Smoker against Law. Smoker, he gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Law, which now begs the question, is like, could have Law taken on Smoker pre-time skip as well? Like, I'm very curious on that.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, because
Because
he had the
he's
same
got the
devil fruit.
like the OP, like op fruit or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's
Yep.
very OP.
He does have one hell of an OP devil fruit, and
The OP fruit.
yeah, he probably knew how to do all this stuff time skip, all the same. I don't think he did like random training. I just think he's been on point with his devil fruit for a long time and has known a lot about it and its abilities. So I feel like he definitely would have been able to, beat the shit out of Smoker
I will
again.
say that Punk Hazard is an arc that sets up many future arcs, and it is an arc that we're still going back to, even in Egghead, because Punk Hazard was an island that Dr. Vegapunk worked on, was also an island that just became inhabitable, was destroyed. That was also an island that Kuzan and oh god, what's his other name, the magma looking dude,
Akainu.
Akainu, they also fought on that as well, and it became an island so hazardous they call it Punk Hazard.
Yeah,
that's half ice and half lava. It's crazy. It's just a really what the hell kind of island where not only like get to meet
very interesting island. I am loving how the islands are so different as we're going through it.
Yeah, but this is an arc where we get to see more of like, we're seeing how corrupt the government can be, because Caesar is working for Doflamingo, who's also working under Kaido. So there's like this whole like pirate organization.
He was also working for Big Mom, like working for her, but doing stuff for her, which was the whole kids thing. Which is really screwed up.
Which is crazy, because in the previous arc in Fishman Island, we also got a little bit of a
peek
teaser,
of Big Mom, yes.
And Luffy starting a feud with her, which is also going to affect future arcs. So this whole like post-time skip up to like right now has been like one big ride, start to finish, all connected, It's not like we're,
I feel like he's started doing that a lot more often since the time skip. Like he'd do it here and there pre-time skip, but he's doing it a lot more pre-time skip, because I feel like he was still just developing the story as it was going on and didn't really know his finish yet. Now that he does, there's so many things he could throw in that he could throw in later, or so he's been doing that a lot more, I think, since the time skip.
You could basically say that from Fishman Island to Wano, it's basically the Battle of Emperors arc, if you want, Battle of Emperors saga, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
That's basically what all these arcs are at this point.
Yeah, I feel like pre-time skip were the warlords, and time skip is like the top, I feel like most powerful warlord. Most evil, I think. And then it was, the emperors. That's what I feel like it was like, because there was still technically one more warlord that they had to go through, which is Doflamingo. Yeah. And then you see Doflamingo like, holy crap, this dude really has been taken over and doing his thing. And he's really the most dangerous, evil. I can't wait to get to Dressrosa. Doflamingo is probably one of my favorite villains, because he was so villainous.
Yeah. How do you feel about Smoker being a lot weaker and just getting crapped on in this arc?
Yeah, he did get his ass beat by oh god, what's his name?
He got his ass beat by Law. He got his ass beat
Law,
by
I understand because Law
Doflamingo at the
really,
end, and he by that other guy that was like a secret agent that had the stuff
yeah,
on his face.
he
The
can
food.
turn his yeah. That show was funny. He would just have random food every time you'd see him in a different scene.
Yeah.
Different lollipop. I forgot what the other show was, but it was that show
It would
would
be
just
like a
crack me up.
Ford or a whole steak, which
Yeah, fork once. It was to be stuck in his beard, and even Momo, the green hair girl,
Mhm.
who was like a bird, she'd even be like, "Were you eating? Were you eating before?" It's like, yeah, I stopped off to eat this, but I loved those characters. They were so funny, and you don't realize it, but they're actually part of Doflamingo's crew, which you do find out later on. What was his name? He was, to me, he was like the real threat. It was not
it was not Caesar.
yeah, it wasn't Caesar the clown, even though Luffy, like, I don't think Luffy was taking him seriously, so Caesar kept getting like the upper hand on him.
I think
And
there's
Zoro,
a moment in Punk Hazard where Zoro's like, Luffy, you need to start acting serious. And
you're
then
like,
that's
we're in the new world. You got to stop effing around, pretty much, which is something I like because Luffy was he's like being all stupid like how he is. And
he had
Luffy's
the
like,
UFO technique when he started spinning his legs and started flying.
yeah. Zoro made him realize, like, yo, stop effing around. Let's get this shit going.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the character's name.
I'm sure you just look up
I think it's
One Piece character with steak on face.
I'm just gonna put One Piece Punk Hazard characters.
But
It's just one name.
Caesar was a very annoying antagonist because
Virgo,
that's his name.
Yeah. Caesar, was very annoying to me. This
the
was
fact that he
more
kept
of like,
laughing, going voiced by the same guy who voices Frieza and the Japanese dub.
Yep. To me, remember how we were talking about pre-time skip? We'd have a serious arc, maybe like more of a laid back, a little more comedic arc. That's what I feel like Punk Hazard was, a little more laid back, more comedic. But you know what? It did have its serious moments as well.
And it laid down the foundations for many arcs to come because this is also where we got another sneak peek of Wano with Kinemon.
Yep.
Kinemon.
Yeah, I loved that whole thing where, because Law can like chop you in half and just still be alive, and he did that with Kinemon. He sliced him from like his belly up, and his upper half and his head, I think, was separate too.
Yeah,
that's right. But his lower half runs into like Luffy, and I think it was Zoro, Usopp, and Nico Robin. They went to explore the island while the others stayed on the ship. And
I think it was like on a dragon or something.
Yeah, Zoro killed a dragon, and the last person to do it was Ryuma in that movie on Netflix. But yeah, Luffy finds it and he connects it to himself, and he's calling himself a centaur. That shit kept cracking me up. It was so stupid, but such a Luffy thing to do. And the whole time he's running around with his lower half connected like to his back, so he is like a centaur. And it's like, what are you doing?
It's also crazy because
I love that part.
The lower half of Kinemon, oh my god, why do I keep saying
Kinemon could talk. It could talk, right?
Yeah, he talks to his farts though. So this whole time it's just he's somehow able to. A butt is able to communicate. With people. I'm just like,
anime
wow,
logic,
we're really, anime logic really just throwing anything now.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, and it was funny too when they first, when Zoro, Luffy, Nico Robin, and Usopp left, and then there was a body of water and they couldn't cross because two of them were Devil Fruit users. And then Usopp's like, oh, well, I guess we gotta go back to the ship. And then Luffy's like, no, I know what we could do. And he's like, I'll ride on Zoro, and you and Robin will ride on you.
Yeah.
And Usopp's like, that's a terrible idea. And then Zoro's like in the water, like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, there was a lot of funny moments in Punk Hazard.
Yeah. It did have its moments too. Like I said, the fighting, like Virgo and Sanji had a fight, and I love that shit because then you're seeing like Sanji's advancement and how much stronger he got, because Virgo can turn his whole body into arm in hockey. So
Yeah.
that makes your body so much stronger. And he's like going kick for kick against this dude. And I feel like, do you think Virgo would have beat him? Because I think he was kind of, you know, he was starting to get the upper hand, but then the door closed and Sanji, you know, they're trying to save the people because there was like a toxin or something coming or something like that.
I feel like if Sanji really locked in, he probably could put up a fight. He got defeated by Law, I think, right?
Yeah, he did by Law and Smoker.
I did like Law's
yeah,
fight
if
with him.
Sanji locked in, yeah, he probably would have taken out Virgo.
If Tori didn't get in the middle of things and you know mess with Sanji's character, because I know things are a lot different with Sanji, because I don't know why in the manga he's like more badass and you know he's not as much as like you know being a simp and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's
I mean
he's
still badass in the anime.
Oh yeah, he still is, but I feel like I'm just.
Yeah.
I realize after Fishman Island that Sanji is definitely going to be a different character, and he's a lot more annoying with his, you know, his perversion, especially in Punk Hazard, where he's when he's in Nami's body and he's playing with her boobies, and I'm just like,
that was hilarious too, where they all switched. I think Chopper was in Frankie's. No, Nami was in Frankie's.
Frankie was in Chopper,
Sanji's.
and then he would have this weird grin, and Robin would be like Robin be like, Frankie, stop talking in Chopper's body.
She's like, don't ever do that again. Yeah, like her serious Robin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that show was so funny. And then the part where they were talking about Marco the Phoenix, I forgot why, and then he's like, it sounds familiar, Luffy, but I can't remember. And then Nico Robin like slides by in the background. His head shaped like a pineapple. And then I remember I said, oh yeah, that's Marco the Phoenix from Marineford, the war. Yeah. There's so many great hysterical moments in it. We also meet Momo.
Oh, Momosuke?
Momosuke, the young boy too, which is
we
find out later who he is.
Wano.
Yeah, but we think at the moment he's Kinemon's son, and Kinemon, you know, eventually they get his body parts together, and he's like, "I need your guys' help. I'm trying to find my son." Blah blah blah. So, and Luffy runs into him, and then we see like he turned into like this little dragon, and you're like, "What the hell, little pink dragon?"
Which is also showing like, hey, you know, he ate one of the smile fruits, or it was a prototype.
It's a bootleg devil fruit.
Of a certain someone's other devil fruit. So we get a lot more a little bit more info on like them trying to replicate replicas of devil fruits and like more how devil
which is what Caesar's working on. And who's buying them? Kaido, right?
So
what was Doflamingo? What did Doflamingo? Oh, Doflamingo was getting them for Kaido. That's right.
So Caesar, I believe what he was doing was I forget.
He was doing a lot of stuff.
Oh my god, they were doing a lot of stuff. They were
pretty much addicting
the
children
factory
to
was
drug.
in Dressrosa, but it was kind of like okay, so they make like they make all these kind of weapons here, and then they ship it off to Dressrosa, and then of course
it's like Doflamingo was the middleman to the emperors.
Basically,
in a way.
yeah, that's what it was. It was like a whole black market, like underground organization that was going on, like a whole criminal.
Yeah, and then he's so we got the Kaido thing. He's Caesar the Clown's also working on something for Big Mom. She's trying to create like giants.
Yeah,
and he's pretty much using a drug to these children that they're getting addicted to, because when they don't have it, they start getting like sick and crazy. And it's like, Jesus Christ, Caesar is pretty, you know, he's pretty screwed up as a villain. One of my favorite scenes in this is you get a glimpse of Zoro's power. So he fights I forgot her name. Was it Momo too? The green hair girl?
Hold on, let me look it up. I know who you're talking about. The bird.
Yeah, she has the devil fruit where she can make it real cold and snow and like something like that. She has a really OP devil fruit.
Yeah.
But there's a moment where Tashigi's like struggling fighting her, and Zoro, you know,
Monet,
comes in.
that's her name.
Monet, that's it. I was close. Monet there's a moment where Tashiki, which is like Smoker's, apprentice, she's like struggling fighting her, and Zoro like happens to find that somehow, and he's like, all right, Tashiki, you can get out of here. I'll finish this. And Zoro defeats her so quickly. You could see the fear in Monet's eyes of how strong and dangerous Zoro is. He defeats her in one slash, and you're just like, whoa. And he literally sliced her in half from head down. You're like, holy shit. So you get a real good glimpse at how much stronger Zoro has gotten since the time skip. And you're like, holy shit. And then we see, Luffy, but we still don't see Gear 4 yet. So Gear 4, you don't even know it's a thing yet. So he didn't even need to use it for Caesar, because Caesar really isn't that powerful. He just has a devil fruit that's very tricky to deal with.
Yeah,
I didn't really
he's a
care for
Logia
that
type,
fight.
so it's kind of hard to fight him. But I
Yeah.
think this is where Luffy realizes, like, okay, he needs to get his
Armament
training
hockey,
into.
yeah.
So he needs to start using armament hockey, because that is the only thing that can basically.
Yeah, the only
take away from
counter
him.
for Logia devil fruit users. But yeah, I didn't really like that fight too much, Luffy's and Caesar's.
It's
I
very
thought the
forgettable, to
Zoro
be
Monet
honest.
one. Yeah, I thought the Law and Smoker was probably the biggest standout one for me.
I think everything else that's not including Caesar, everything else it was great.
Was good.
But when we go back to Caesar and his main plot, I'm just like, I really don't care.
Yeah. I thought Virgo was a better main villain in this. And I feel like he was more of the main villain, because he really was running that shit. Because Caesar was answering, to Doflamingo and the Emperors.
Yeah.
And he was frightened of them. So I feel like Virgo really was the one running shit there. Because, Smoker and Law were struggling so badly when they had a handicap match with him. They were really struggling with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Punk Hazard, it was a more laid back, fun arc. Not one of my favorites, not one of my least favorites, but it was all right. But I feel like I liked. Did you like Fishman Island more than this? And what else is in here? Like Thriller Bark. I think I like Punk Hazard more than Thriller Bark.
I think I like Punk Hazard a little bit too, because again, I think everyone gets a chance to be badass. We don't focus on, again, Sanji being a simp. That's still in this arc, but it's not as strong as the last one, where he's having no bleach 24/7. When he's in Nami's body, of course he's going to do that. But
yeah,
I do like he's able to,
He was in heaven.
Yeah,
she's like, stop it. Oh man.
But I do like this one because it just sets a lot more for what's to come in the future.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I'll put it a high B maybe.
Maybe between Fishman Island and Thriller Bark.
I would put it before.
Or did you?
I'll put it.
Did you like it more than Fishman?
I liked it more than Fishman, to be honest. Plus, I love the opening.
You know what? It did. Yeah, it did have like better fights. The comedy was so much better in it. And you know what? It felt like a shorter arc to me. It didn't feel like as dragged out.
The only parts where it felt again, the pacing.
The Caesar the Clown and that big blob thing I didn't like either.
I remember that.
Stupid. Yeah, and then when it died, it's devil fruit. It's weird. It had a devil fruit, but once that died, this is why I think when you die and you're a devil fruit user, your devil fruit ability transitions into the closest fruit around you, because we do see that happen.
Yeah, someone dies and the devil fruit
goes to blob. Yep, and manifested into the closest apple. So that's why I feel like that is true. A lot of people think that as well, but they're not 100% sold on it yet. But yeah, so far, the first two arcs aren't like super strong, but you know what? They're good One Piece arcs. Fishman Island, Punk Hazard. They're not too bad, but it's not, top tier One Piece yet. We'll get there though. We'll get there again, I mean.
Yeah. So Return to Sabaody, Fishman Island, and Punk Hazard, we're putting in B tiers. Let us know in the comments down below if you agree with that. I mean, I don't care if your opinions are different than mine. I mean, we're all fans. We all have our
Yeah,
different
everybody
opinions.
has their different opinions about each of the arcs and stuff. I mean, the list that we have so far might be totally different than how your list would be. I mean, maybe it'll agree with yours, but we love One Piece in general. You know, it's a great anime. As we were talking, there's so many different little things to like about it, and bigger things to like about it. There's so much to love about One Piece. That's why the popularity has, gone crazy
Oh
over
yeah,
these past years. It's crazy how popular it's gotten. Like when I first started watching it, I think in like 2015, 16 or something like that, it was nowhere near as popular. And they were up to like Dressrosa at this time.
yeah.
But it was still real popular, but now it's like on another level of popularity. Like I think it's heading towards Dragon Ball popularity.
Oh, I think it's
That's where I
already
think it's heading.
surpassed that because like
You
I
think
keep.
so?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I think One Piece has become a bigger, at least a little bit bigger name than Dragon Ball. Because the thing with Dragon Ball is that we don't get a lot of content now these days, and a lot of
yeah,
things are
yeah.
up on hold because of the legal stuff with Shueisha and yada yada. The manga's on hold, so we don't have that Dragon Ball renaissance that we had, in the 2012 to 2017 or 2018,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Disappointing.
One Piece is taking
There's
that crown at the moment, and One Piece has been promoted on like baseball, basketball games. There's been
yeah, yeah. It
you know
is I think it's like the highest selling comic or manga of like all time. I
oh
think
yeah, I
Guinness
think
Book.
it's almost about to
It's
beat out Superman or something like that, or I think it did
Yeah,
beat out
I
Superman.
think it did. Yeah, I think it did pass it. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records for some stuff already, and it's just like, geez, I'm not surprised with how this
Not to mention you had the
series is.
Netflix live action
Series.
coming out, and then you had like
And that's good. And
yeah.
when do we get live action anime that's actually really good and people are so hyped for season 2? It's very rare to get a good anime live adaptation.
Yeah.
The Rurouni Kenshins are really good, which I don't think they're talked about enough. Rurouni Kenshin isn't like super popular, but that is one of the best live action adaptations of anime I have ever seen. I heard Gintama is a good live action. I never seen either that or the anime. Tokyo Ghoul I saw, and that wasn't too bad. That was pretty accurate. Bleach wasn't that bad, but there's a lot that are horrible. Dragon Ball, Death Note.
Yeah.
There's a lot that are just. Cowboy Bebop was a failure. Like there's so many, but
But yeah,
yeah. So I think after this we'll have about 2 more episodes.
yeah. So next time we'll definitely talk about Dressrosa. Zhao.
I think
Zhou? Is it
Zhao.
Zhou? Zhao? Zhao?
Zhao or so. Yeah, we don't even know.
Zhou.
And then Whole Cake. Well, yeah, we'll try to do Dressrosa, Zoe. I think it's Zoe and Whole Cake. And then the last episode will be Wano, and then we could throw in Egghead Arc as well.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So,
Wano, there's so much to talk about. There is so much
yeah.
to talk about, but we'll
Yeah.
cover that.
I mean,
in-
even yeah, we're trying to make Whole Cake its own episode. There is some. I mean, look at what we did with Fishman Island. Even Return to Sabaody, we were like talking kind of long for.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, let us know what you guys think of this arc, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the One Piece episodes, and then we'll return back to the trio of Figure Films next episode.
One Piece is real.
It is.